Hey, boys and girls, we're doing lesson 2-6, and it is our problem solving lesson titled Little and Big. And you'll see why soon. Let's get into it. We have a math message, and it's on our journal page 47. It'll be attached as part of a Kami activity, but you can also do it in your math journal as well. This is really the only math journal page for this lesson. There are other things that we need to do that will be on separate sheets. So if you don't have those separate sheets, you will need to do them through Kami, or print them out and then submit them digitally in either this sheet or the journal pages. If you're doing them on paper, I need to see your work. So I need to see it either in person or I need to see it on this screen. Okay, so you need to have a way of taking a picture or uploading it somehow for me to see it. All right, let's get into it. So today we have a lesson that is all about making conjectures and arguments. Now, what are conjectures and arguments? They are big fancy words that mean, well, predictions and explanations. And it has to do with math. And do you remember doing the activity, if you did the challenge activity titled Gold Box Conjecture? It has to do with making a prediction that isn't necessarily something that you can prove, or it is something that you can back up and prove, and you need to then make an argument with it. Okay, so the argument is something that helps you kind of prove or explain your conjecture, which is a prediction. Something that you can say, make a claim. You could say, I think this is the case, and then you have to back it up. You have to give some evidence, make an explanation, share your thinking. And that is really the focus of many of our problem solving lessons. It's not about getting the answer, it's about explaining your thinking and about going through that process of coming up with an answer and then communicating it. So let's get into our math message here. Okay. You may have had a quick little snippet of what we could see there, but I'm going to zoom in with this a little bit for you so you can see. Ooh, too much. There we go. Mr. Cheng's class is trying to figure out the rule for the table below. For the rule to be correct, the rule must work for all the rows. So we have a in and out table or a function table. Some people call them either, all right? And we don't know the rule yet. And if we look at each one of these numbers and what goes in, what comes out, you're going to notice, hopefully, a pattern. And we are just doing this as our warm-up to get to our actual problem-solving lesson. But either way, here are some of the educated guesses below, the conjectures. And then you have to choose whether it's you agree or you disagree with this guess. So the first guess is to multiply by 1. And we look at these numbers, and you can say whether it's a yes or a no. And then we state an argument. And the argument could be to say, I agree and I support that thinking, or I disagree and I don't support that thinking, and here is why, either way. Okay. Now, the second one is add 3. Yes or no, make an argument. And the third one is double the number you put in and then subtract 1. So yes or no again, and state whether or not you agree or disagree here, but then the reasons why, the explanation, the argument. Okay? I'm going to have you work on this. And when you are done, we are then going to transition into working on making another set of conjectures about this picture here. And it goes along with this activity of little and big. And here's a picture of a dog. And the dog has perhaps the worst name I've ever heard. It's called Little. And the other dog's name is Big. Wow. Now, either way, Little apparently got into tearing up the dog picture, and now we can only see Little, and we can't see the rest of the picture, and we can't see Big. And initially, this dog here has been measured with 2 dog treats. And we know the result of measuring Big was another set of dog treats. And we can take a look over here. And it says, Anna measured the picture of Big in the same way before the picture was torn, using the same dog treats. Big's height was 6 dog treats. So the next step is actually measuring with a different tool, not the dog treats, but paper clips. So now if I gave you a paper copy, I did give you all paper copies of this, and paper clips if you didn't have them. You can use the paper and pencil. You can also use, I made one that has some digital paper clips. Now, if you touch this corner here, it's going to change the size of those paper clips, and that really messes up the lesson. So we want to keep the paper clips the same size, and you can drag them around, and you can see how many paper clips Little is measured for, okay? And that is going to be the next step here. So number 1 says to measure the height of Little in paper clips. Number 2 is then to make your prediction on the number of paper clips that Big would be. And it should go along with you noticing a pattern and you coming up with an idea about how many paper clips Big should be. And then here's your argument. Here's where you're going to explain it. So there's several steps here, and this is about perfecting our ability to explain ourselves in math. So if you are having a hard time with it, that's something we're going to be working on together as a group. We're going to be thinking about it together as a group. And then we're going to be refining those answers and having a final draft of the same sheet. So we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be thinking about it. We're going to be working on making an even better answer. And I will be sharing some student work again with you, just like I did for lesson 1 or unit 1's problem solving lesson as well. Okay. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. I hope it's kind of clear for you. Work on this page first. Be ready to discuss it with me and start thinking about this page too. But we are going to be kind of going back and forth between this lesson, this part, and getting into the next part with our actual class time. All right. So anyway, have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.